get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me, checking me, but his game is kinda weak, and I know that he cannot approach me, 'cause I'm looking like class and he's looking like trash. Can't get with a deadbeat ass. So no, I don't want your number, no, I don't wanna give you mine, and no, I don't wanna meet you nowhere, no, don't want none of your time, no. To hate Andrew Anderson, stating truth that just can't wait. Got a podcast like a punch right to your face. College sports villain, taking it over the place. I bring the facts whether you like it or not, dropping truth bombs, giving it all I got. They call me a villain, well, I wear that badge with pride. Nothing but secrets they try to hide.
Good evening and welcome to College Sports Villains, the Alabama Ole Miss show. But I like to start the show saying that, we're part of the Dog TV and we love it. However, I want to start this show today with saying happy birthday, Mom. Today is my mom's birthday and this show is dedicated to her and it's going to be a fantastic show. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our co-host for the day. Welcome, Emily. You're on mute, but welcome. Welcome to the Alabama show, which is your show.
Yay.
We're going to go through it and we're going to get your thoughts, wins, losses, Chris. We have special guests coming on tonight. Hopefully James makes it here shortly. So let's get right into it. Let's go ahead and introduce our second co-host of the day. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I can't wait to be a violator of truth because I may hurt some Alabama feelings today.
Hey, you know what? It is all good because next week is the Vanderbilt show. So,
and I'm very practical about their stuff. So, either way.
It's going to be fun. The Vanderbilt show is going to be fun. This Alabama and Ole Miss show is going to be fun. So I want to start out with happy birthday, Mom. I love my mom. So this is her birthday. This is her day. This show is dedicated to her.
Happy birthday, Mama Anderson.
That's right. That's my mom and dad right there, y'all. They love the beach. That's my son saying Nana Didi. He knows it. So let's, normally I like to save this for later in the show, but I want to start this show with meme of the week.
Hold up. You got another guest down here. No Mercy Sports is in the house.
Oh, is he? Oh, well, without further ado.
Nobody can stop me now.
Hi, James. How we doing?
Oh, baby.
I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Chris, you say something. I want to make sure it's not me.
I can barely hear him.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason we can barely hear you, and you're loud. So,
Seriously?
look, I'm a very loud individual, but I think you are louder than I am.
Let's see. All right, let's try.
You got our screen messed up too. You're down here in the wrong corner, and I'm like,
Yes, I am. That's because I don't know how to move the position, and I'm actually guest hosting on my own because this computer has just gotten to where it skips. So I'm on my MacBook now. So,
All right,
But
so much like the Verizon guy, can you hear me now?
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay. I just had to switch it up for a quick second. Okay, there we go.
yes. All righty. So that's good. I feel very funny down in the bottom right. So next week I'll have everything run through the MacBook so I can just do it from there. But either way, I want to start this week with the meme of the week. You know, the water boy said Auburn got all them receivers and no quarterback.
It smells like we're still living in the Cam Newton era.
Oh my God. So they are so excited about this receiving class, and they should be. It was a hell of a receiving class. No doubt about that. Nobody can take that away from them. But Peyton Thorne is going to be out there throwing them the ball. This is just how do you convince? I mean, outside of Neil, how do you convince? Hey, come to Auburn where Peyton Thorne will decide your future in the NFL. That is just great. What do you think, Chris?
I think Auburn fans are in for a rude awakening because they're not going to be very good this year. And of all those freshman receivers they brought in, you might see one on the field this year, and that's Cam Coleman.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
That is 100% correct. I absolutely, I love this meme. It's a series that we're doing. We hit South Carolina too, so I don't want to see no hate in the comments. I know we don't have many comments yet, but you know they're coming. They're just waiting for us to say something crazy. That's usually how it works. So, let's see what we at. So let's see. Is our special guest ready to come on? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. I don't know if he can hear me or not, but we'll wait till he's ready. If you can hear me and you're ready, give me a thumbs up. Ah, gotcha. All right. Jonathan, we make a video for every special guest. Yours was really, really cool. How are we doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, brother. How about you guys?
Oh, man, I'm great.
The rest of y'all burning up like we are?
I mean, I'm burning up here in Texas. I'll tell you what.
So,
Oh.
so Chris is in Tennessee. Emily and I are in South Carolina. James is in Texas, and you are in Mississippi.
That is correct.
Yeah. So we got the South covered here.
We
So
all across the southeast.
that's right.
Well, I'm in the Southwest, but
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough,
Yeah.
fair enough.
But he's in the Southwest. He's from the Northeast. He claims Chicago. He's a man of many areas, James. So,
Mhm.
so
Guys,
that's where we're at.
yeah, man. I appreciate y'all having me on. This is cool. First time I've ever been on a show like this.
Oh, well, welcome. This is College Sports Villain. So I don't know how much you've caught the show before, but we have some special language we use in here. We don't hold anything back.
I was about to ask, what's the language parameters?
So I'm glad you said something about language, Andrew, because I was going to say we get to pop his podcast cherry today.
Oh man,
Yep.
and this is a good one because we do not give a fuck, and we make fun of your fucking teams all day long, and we love it. So just this is where we're at. So tell us about your group. So I found your group about 3 years ago, actually, and there was 200 people in it at the time. And you were always very gracious to me while I was building College Sports Villains, which is now massive. Like the thing has blew up, and you always let me go in there, and I appreciate that. You're now over 2,000, and growing every day. So tell us about your group before we get into today. You know, give yourself a shameless plug.
Oh man, just a couple of years ago, me and Michael Wilson, we just talked and said, you want to start a little group, little page dedicated to college football, and you know, real simple. We said, yeah, we'll start a page, and we just turned into a little discussion group, and it kept going, and actually got a lot bigger than I realized it. So we just decided to open a little forum for people to come in and share their show like you're doing, and several other guys are doing. So just a little. The intention was just a little group. We had no clue it was going to explode like it did.
Well, I appreciate it because I literally found it when you were like 197 deep, I think it was. It was right at the beginning, and you know, when I was first going with College Sports Villain, there's a lot of groups that would just like delete my stuff because I was, you know, sharing it everywhere. Now the groups love it when they see College Sports Villains come in there because they're like, they know that this is going to get a lot of engagement because it's just funny stuff. But there's a lot of groups that wouldn't let me. They do let me today. Just want to go ahead and point that out there. You have to make a name for yourself first, I guess. So
Yeah, absolutely, man. But shoot, yeah, we welcome any because we're all the same. We're all college football fans. We just try to keep the nucleus of fans going because it's the best sport in the world, in my opinion.
yes, so the biggest and best college football group right now on Facebook is Frenzy, right? The owner is a guy named Tim Bailey. He's a regular on this show. He's a friend of mine. He's absolutely hilarious. An Oklahoma homer. We'll call him that to his face. Oklahoma's going to win every game and dominate the SEC.
I'm rolling my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah. So, so since you're here, I have a couple of videos. We are going to do a FAFO right now. So if you have small children watching the show, now would be a good time to turn it.
I've got.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, you know that had to hurt.
Oh yes. Ouch.
Vanderbilt is almost as bad as Iowa. That's a new one. Is that one of your burner accounts, Chris?
No, that ain't, no. I'm looking at that and I'm like, what's wrong with Iowa?
I mean, that's a shot at you personally because you like Vanderbilt and Iowa. This is somebody that knows you. I don't know who it is either, I swear. But it's something that we like to do. So for those of you who missed it, turn your kids' eyes. We'll play it one more time. I just can't. I mean, that's great.
I wasn't ready for that. I was ready for him to pick her up and set her on that hot burner there.
It came out of nowhere. So we have one. I had to tone it down. So now usually I run it through Chris or Emily or James when I have a FAFO video, because I did one with the machete, and boy, they shut us down. Facebook shut the whole fucking show because this guy was just macheteing people. I didn't think about it at the time. I'm like, hey, that's funny. And Facebook did not find it funny. Like the whole show is gone. Like you can't even find it.
I mean, Mark Zuckerberg is in charge of Facebook. What do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, to Chris's point, like he said that day, I mean, that is just a little too far, dude. It's a college sports show, and you got somebody in here hacking people with machetes. Knock it off.
Exactly, brother. Exactly.
But we have a special video, Jonathan, we always play for Chris.
Okay.
So
they'll leave it with him. Gets it across the 10, a pickup of 5, and out of trouble to the 12.
Hey, 5 to 6 yards a pop. I don't know if you guys are really good at math, but that usually equals a first down every couple carries. So don't forget about the run game. Keep them honest. Pound that rock.
And he's running in the open. You're not getting him on the ground. Still on his feet. The 20. He's at the 10.
So Chris and I go back and forth about South Carolina and Vanderbilt. So I got the game the day it came out because my wife here bought it, paid $100 so I could play it early. I love you, buddy, but I'm gonna mute you. So I could play it early. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put it on freshman for this one game just to see how much I can run up the score on Vanderbilt, so I can put it on the show.
Poor Vandy.
Yes.
I mean, I think my favorite part is when the announcer's like, if you're not good at math, well, Vanderbilt knows a thing or two about math. Fucking nerds.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I brought a little Vandy representation myself.
Oh, Chris. Yeah.
Hey!
Hey, it's okay.
All right.
I got you.
So we actually, so this is a series that I'm doing. I'm sure you've seen them because I put them in your group all the time. And Vanderbilt said it smells like nerds and disappointment here.
Yeah. Oh God, I was laughing so hard.
I took a shot at South Carolina too. I was like, it smells like underachievers, and wait till next year here. I'm equal opportunity. Like I blast South Carolina all the time.
I love it.
And
So
your
funny.
team, Ole Miss, I don't care what anybody says, and a lot of people aren't old enough to know this dude, but Lane Kiffin reminds me so much of Chevy Chase when he was young. They look so much alike. That's why I always call him Chevy Chase in the Ole Miss squares. Like, 'cause
Spot on.
does. He looks just like a young Chevy Chase.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I hope you're here with us for a while. I mean, because if you're not, we'll do Ole Miss first and get it out of the way. But
I'm off tonight from my regular job, so I'm free for however long.
Excellent. So I want to do this one first, and I love it. And I want James to comment on this first. It's my favorite. So every week I'll do a state of the SEC. Usually I do Big 12, but Big 10, but I'm probably not going to do that this year. I'm going to keep it SEC specific. With just I know you've seen it, but like James, give us your thoughts on the state of the SEC preseason.
I mean, yeah, it works for Bama. Like, yeah, but also, can they win without Nick Saban?
Yep.
Georgia, obviously, cream of the crop because of like what they've accomplished in the last 4 years. I want to say.
Yes,
Pretty much, yeah.
LSU, Kelly can't dance out of this. No, the fuck he cannot. Tennessee, y'all might have arguably the loudest stadium in the SEC, but yes, you are a bunch of babies, and it really took you, God knows how many years to finally beat Alabama before you bum rush the field?
Chris knows about Tennessee being a bunch of babies.
Kentucky, just stick to basketball. That's all you're ever good at.
You are a basketball school.
That's right.
A&M. Oh, God. Where to begin with? Like, they haven't been good since Johnny Football.
Fact.
It's been a minute.
It really has been. Let's see, South Carolina, bull or bust. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Can I throw
It is.
Can I throw something in on A&M?
Yeah.
A&M has got to be arguably one of the top 1 or 2 programs in the country with so much money invested in their programming. It goes to so much damn waste.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree to that.
That's on our show. We have a segment a lot called Mercenaries versus Culture, but we'll get into that. Continue going, James.
Absolutely. Let's see. Auburn, all them receive. Yeah, because the only time Auburn actually had a quarterback was back in 2010, and that was it. That was it. Vanderbilt, trash can, easily. Florida, yeah, he about to be gone if they can't do anything. Mississippi State, also easily. Ole Miss, I could see them being a dark horse. With Lane Kiffin at the helm and Jackson Dart returning under center, they could very well be a dark horse this season.
And Judas Wells, but continue.
Okay. Arkansas, just stick to Walmart, guys. Please.
Or baseball.
Or baseball.
Too.
Mizzou, yeah, y'all had one good season last year. Y'all about to take a dump this year.
They are. I agree.
And you beat a depleted Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, they were even lucky to actually beat Kansas State by a field goal.
Yep.
Fact.
It looked like my fucking way. You look like 265. Field goal kicker if I've ever seen one. Texas, yes, horns down. This is SEC. Welcome to the big time, boys.
Hey, look at my cake. Look at my cake.
Somebody wants cake.
I bought him a cake yesterday, a half Bluey and half Peppa Pig cake. He wants it. We'll get it to him after the show.
There you go.
Oklahoma 7-5. I can see that.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
So before we go to, we'll let Chris break this down next, and then you, Jonathan, because Emily's fighting with the boy right now. But I just want to throw something out there that's a quote from a member of this panel here. Vanderbilt will go 6-6 with wins over Auburn, Kentucky, and South Carolina. What are your thoughts?
You need
Jonathan?
to download the video I sent you.
What are your thoughts?
So he said South Carolina, Auburn, and what was the other one?
Kentucky.
Okay, so Kentucky, I really like the defense. I think the defense could be fairly solid. I don't know what to expect out of Brock Vandergriff. We'll see how he looks, but that series to me is a toss-up because I remember a couple years ago, Vandy went in there and beat them when nobody thought they would, and then yeah, that's right. And then South Carolina, we'll see. I don't know about Auburn. That might be a stretch, but I also don't think Auburn's going to be very good. So anything's possible. And I do like the QB Vandy picked up in the portal, Diego from New Mexico State. So
you remember that's the same quarterback that body slammed their DB last year and beat them badly in their own house.
31.
I have reason to be confident.
My guy.
It could happen. I ain't gonna say never say never. We'll just go with that.
All right. Sure. Never say never. But yeah, that shit's not gonna happen. Chris.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't need it. Chris, break it down.
Oh, can mercenaries work at Alabama? They always have. I mean, it ain't no different just because they got a different coach. Nick Saban brought in mercenaries. It ain't no different.
Landon Collins
Georgia,
being one of them.
Georgia cream of the crop. Yeah, I agree with that. Mm-hmm. Kelly can't dance his way out of this. Nope. Tennessee, a bunch of babies. They are a bunch of babies, but that team is going to be really, really, really good this year.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Kentucky, cheating when they didn't have to. Now, there's a comment over here that says Kentucky didn't cheat. The Kentucky players cheated the program. Kentucky self-reported it when they found out. Well, guess what? They held their running back out of 4 games 2 years ago because they were paying the guy for not working.
We all want cake.
We all know what they did. They cheated.
Sir!
He took a shot at you. So JQ, I
may
love your confidence, but you beaten Kentucky, but you ain't beating Ole Miss and South Carolina. Go
I may
ahead.
be stupid, Big Ten backers, but I ain't dumb. Wait a minute.
Vanderbilt will go 3-9.
Ooh.
Hear me out. The last time we went to Lexington, we walked out of there with a win. And
So did
it'll
we.
happen again. It'll happen again with Diego Pavia urinating on their logos, just like he did at New Mexico.
I'm gonna lose my coffee before this is over.
South Carolina, I actually agree with that. I actually predicted Mr. Smiley Boy is going to be fired in the SEC.
Kentucky 9-3. Ooh.
Auburn, all those receivers and no quarterback. Truth.
I got a Canadian
not
in here.
Trash.
Yes, Brent.
Yep. Vanderbilt's not trash.
We will
Florida,
see this season.
I'm telling you, Florida and Mississippi State will be the worst two teams in the SEC.
Oh. Interesting.
They will be playing for last place. Arkansas will be worse than Vandy.
Yeah. What is it? Florida has a bit of a gauntlet for their schedule for through halfway through, right?
Yeah.
Just a dumpster.
Brutal.
JQ,
Ole Miss
I've
is
seen
a dark
Mississippi
horse.
State's record. They're not going 6-6. But continue on. Ole Miss dark.
Ole Miss dark horse. I got them in the SEC championship with Georgia. Not gonna lie.
Wow.
Yowie.
Brock Vandegrift will throw for 2,500 or 3,000 yards, and the dude can't even beat out his competition red transfer portal quarterback. Currently, Brock Vandegrift is second on the depth chart. But Brock Vandegrift, damn it. Arkansas.
Gun, Kansas.
Arkansas. Apparently, they threw 8 interceptions in practice today, and Sam Pittman is losing his mind.
And his job.
Mizzou isn't real. Nope, they're not real. They are going to miss Cody Schrader more than they ever dreamed that they missed that guy.
Yes, they will. I agree 100%, Chris. You hit that right on the freaking head.
I agree.
Texas is going to be really, really, really good.
Yeah, me
They're
too. I have them in the SEC championship game with Georgia. My turn to say. All right, go ahead.
Oklahoma. Yep, 7-5.
7-5.
I see it coming all day. But I got 4 playoff teams in the SEC.
Yeah.
That's going to be Georgia, Ole Miss,
we will wait.
Texas, and Tennessee.
Ooh,
I have 4 as well, but I replaced Tennessee with Alabama there. Running back issues will be Texas had a few running backs go down, but they've got really good ones. Vandy spits rumors like true. Sit down, Tucker. Brock is number 1 quarterback. We got to get JQ back on the show too. That was fun. So Jonathan, break it down. Tell me what you see.
Okay, Alabama, can mercenaries work? Well, I mean, yeah, they can. Here's my question, though. Kalen DeBoer, he's recruiting really well, but he's never coached in this part of the country, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, South Dakota, Fresno, and Washington. So we'll see how he does down here. And one more thing about Bama. How is this fan base going to react with 2 or 3 losses? I would love to hear the Birmingham radio stations this coming fall.
Especially Paul Feinbaum.
Oh, Lord. I actually have to talk to that guy. Don't even get me started on him.
That man might rip Alabama a new one.
Absolutely. But I will give him a bit. Go ahead.
Fun fact about Paul Feinbaum: he's actually a Tennessee Vol graduate.
That's right.
And I was listening to him on radio before he ever made it to ESPN, and I distinctly remember the day he called Philip Fulmer a coward for not showing up at SEC Media Days. I was listening that day.
And he wasn't wrong.
He was.
No,
I mean, look, the one thing I remember about Paul Feinbaum was watching the Alabama Auburn 30 for 30. And he's like, look, it really is the Israelis and Palestinians in one fucking state. I was like, Jesus, the rivalry is that bad between these two?
Oh, when he before he got on TV and he was just doing radio, oh my God, this guy was pure gold.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Continue on.
As far as Georgia goes, yeah, that's 110% pretty much fact. Cream of the crop. I look at them in Ohio State. They're kind of the top 1%, I think, of the sport right now, but I still would put Georgia ahead of them. LSU, Kelly Keating's. I'm still laughing at this one. No, look, I mean, yeah, I'm high on Garrett Nussmeier. I was impressed with him in the bowl game. I think he'll still have some receivers. I don't know what that running back room looks like, and I love the new defensive coordinator. He's coming from Mizzou, but I don't know. I'm not sold on LSU, even though I do have them beating us, but I don't sell them as a serious contender. Tennessee, bunch of babies. I could say some harsh shit about Tennessee fans. I mean, they did throw mustard bottles and golf balls at my head coach. So that's all I'm going to say, but that's a fact. But look, I do think Nico's a really good QB. I think the offense is going to be fun to watch. Definitely a playoff threat, in my opinion, especially if the defense will play good. We'll see how that goes. Kentucky, cheating. I forgot about that already. Now I have to re-laugh. How in the world does Kentucky cheat at football? That blows my mind. But I will say this: the tough team. They usually give you good fights, but nothing better than 7-5. I've come to expect that. Texas A&M, Big 12 pound.
James, I explained it earlier. I'm experimenting with my MacBook. I apologize. That's why Chris is up top. But next week it won't be that way. Continue. So, by the way, James is like our best viewer, Jonathan.
Oh, okay. How you doing, James? Texas A&M. Like I say, I've never seen a program put so much money into their program and waste it. Jimbo Fisher. Anyway, but I am high on Mike Elko. I think he can build A&M up. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna give him a couple years, but I do like him. We'll see what happens. South Carolina, bowl or bust. I'm not saying this to kiss ass, but I love Shane Beamer. I love his energy. I think he is a tremendously good players coach. We'll see if he can get it on the right track, but I really enjoy his press conferences. I do think they go bowling this year. I've actually got them at 6-6 also. Yep. Auburn, all them receivers and that might still be my favorite. Freeze may not admit this, but he tried so hard in this offseason to get a QB in the portal, and he had no luck. So have fun, receivers, getting that ball from Peyton Thorne.
Correct.
Vandy. I got nothing bad about Vandy. I don't see how you can hate Vandy. Vandy's dealt with so much. They've dealt with so much in football. But fun
we don't hate Vandy. We just fuck with Chris. Just
exactly
clear.
Yeah, that's my fault. But
because I take it well.
He does. Yeah, he gives it back too. Make no mistake. You should see the chats.
My God, do we go after him?
Honestly, at first, when I seen y'all on here, I actually thought that was Clark Lee with the Vandy hat on. I was about to say,
I got more hair.
Oh, okay. You're racing with me now. But no, Vandy.
Me too. I did.
I did. Vandy, yeah, they're at the bottom, but we'll see what this year brings. I mean, surely they don't go 2-10 again. I think they'll at least be better than 2-10.
They will 3-9, brother. All right, continue.
Florida. I'm gonna say this about Florida. I don't know who makes the schedules, AD, whoever made the schedule. If I was a Florida fan, I'd want to kick his ass because Miami, A&M, UCF at Tennessee, Georgia at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss at Florida State. Good God.
Well, the two things there is one, they thought they were going to be better than they were with Napier, and two, they had no idea Texas and Oklahoma was coming, so they did not know that any of that was going to take place.
Fair enough.
And Miami was trash years ago when they scheduled them.
And to be fair, just what was it, 3 years ago when they went 10-2 and were national a national power.
Yeah.
Who expected this fall off?
Nobody.
Yeah.
But if they manage that schedule and still win 8 games, Napier better be coach of the year in the SEC.
Oh, I swear to God.
And then
I agree. That's one of the hardest schedules I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, Chris fixed it, I think. So thank you, Chris.
Absolutely. But I mean, that's murder's row. As far as Mississippi State goes, Vandy West, it's still so weird not having divisions. I don't care what anybody says.
Right.
State, look, Jeff Lebby, I like Lebby. It's weird that their head coach used to be at Ole Miss. That's going to be fun. Lebby versus Kiffin. It's going to be a rebuild for State. They might win their 4 non-con games and maybe 1 SEC game, but I think 5 and 7 might be the ceiling. And then as far as Ole Miss goes, dark horse. I'm not gonna sit on here and try to.
No, we're gonna break that down. You can, yeah.
I do think we have a chance for a really special year, but I look at it as a window program. I think they've been building to this season, so it's now or never, if that makes any sense. And then Arkansas, will they win 3 games? Yeah, maybe 3. But
what's your matter?
Maybe 3. I don't think they'll beat Oklahoma State, but anyway, maybe 3. Let's see.
Very possible, Q.
Mizzou isn't real. As far as Mizzou goes, they were a great story last year, but it's hard for me to see them duplicating last season, especially with the new staff on defense. I do like the backfield, though. Marcus Carroll and Nate Noel, the transfers from Georgia State and App State. That could be fun to watch with the passing game. But I think there'll be a little drop-off. I almost had Mizzou in my playoff, but they just missed it. Texas, as much as I can't stand Texas, they are, for real, they're a national title contender. But we'll see. The receiving corps got a lot of new guys. Got 2 running backs out for injury already. So we'll see what that affects the offense. Oklahoma.
Yeah, especially with how Quinn Ewers will perform this year too.
So I'm reading the internal chat here. It's hilarious, and I just saw the video you sent me, James. That's hilarious too.
Man, and the closeout on Oklahoma. 7-5. About right. I would go 8-4, but to be honest with you, 8-4 might be the ceiling. I think the media is giving them too much love.
Agreed. So, with that being said, we're going to take our first commercial break. You are watching College Sports Villains only on Dog TV.
Icy Breeze is the world's first portable air conditioner and cooler. A premium ice cooler that doubles as an eco-friendly portable air conditioner. This is not a swamp cooler, just blowing air across ice. Over 60 parts and components allow Icy Breeze to achieve what no other product in the world can do. The secret behind the Icy Breeze is an innovative design that circulates chilled ice water through a heat exchanger in the lid, replacing the Freon used in most ACs. Fresh air is drawn from hidden vents in the top of the cooler, pulled across the exchanger, and chilled down to 35 degrees cooler than the outside air. A 3-speed fan control delivers Icy Breeze's dry, cold air up to 25 miles per hour, just like a car AC. And a stay-put flex hose directs the breeze in any direction. Wherever you need it, Icy Breeze helps you beat the...
I'm a bad guy, the one you love to hate. Andrew Anderson, spitting truth that just can't wait. Got a podcast, like a punch right to your face. College Sports Villains, taking it over the place. I bring the facts whether you like it or not. Dropping truth bombs, giving it all I got. They call me a villain. Well, I wear that badge with pride. Nothing but secrets they try to hide. Hard rock in my veins, rebel
All right, welcome back to College Sports Villains only on Dog TV. So next we are going to go into our very next segment, the
Before we
Alabama
do that,
Show.
before we do that, can I address one of these comments?
Yes, yes.
Okay, over here we got the Big Ten backers saying, "Give me Memphis from the G5." I got to address Memphis.
I'll take Liberty. Go ahead.
That's who I got.
So remember last year all the shit that Vanderbilt took because of their stadium. It
Yeah.
was a construction zone, right?
Yep.
Check out the Memphis stadium.
Oh, no lie. This I seen that this morning.
Oh, shit.
I'm about 2 hours south of Memphis. That
They
press
have
box,
a game. They have a game there in 2 weeks.
I live 2 hours south of Memphis. I
need
saw
to
that
hear
this
the
morning.
shit from Memphis that Vanderbilt took last year. What are we doing?
Well, we'll get there. So,
Mm.
right now, we want to transition to the Alabama. This is Emily's team. In case she has to go, I want to go ahead and bring this up, and I'm going to let her go first.
Absolutely.
Emily, break it down game by game, win, loss, maybe a quick synopsis if you want, and tell me Alabama's final record.
Literally, the boy just poured a whole thing of blocks in my lap. So yay.
Nice.
But yeah, as far as Alabama's schedule, the only game that I'm actually worried about is the Georgia game.
Yeah, Georgia's a good team.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
the only one that I'm really worried about.
So you've got Alabama at 11-1.
Mm-hmm.
That's good enough to go back to the playoffs.
Yeah.
In the SEC, you go 11-1, you're going to the playoffs.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah. In case you don't know, we got a 3-year-old and he is crazy.
All good, buddy.
So anything you want to say about this Alabama team before we move on to the next person?
You on my end?
No, Emily.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
They better win.
I think Alabama's going to be doing a lot of winning. No doubt about it. So
I don't think that's changing.
No. So I'll let Chris go next, so you can kind of see how we run this down, do a quick synopsis and all that. So Chris, game by game, win, loss, quick synopsis. You're up. James will go next, and then we'll hit Jonathan, and we'll end with me.
Western Kentucky, that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
This next game I've had circled on the schedule for almost a year. UCF came in there last year with a first-year head coach and gave Alabama all they could handle.
USF.
Alex Golesh, there's something about his offensive play calling that is a problem for Alabama's defense. I've had this game circled. I think that's a trap game for Alabama. UCF in an upset.
USF.
Ooh.
Yeah, USF.
But I mean, I'm on not so fast, my friend. But go ahead, continue on.
The reason I call it a trap game is because they're staring at a trip to Wisconsin the very next week.
Good Wisconsin team, Luke Fickell.
A good Wisconsin.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I think Alabama gets that win, but I think it's a lot closer than people anticipate.
Yeah, I think it'd be a close game too. Agreed.
Goes into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Georgia thumps them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. And then they get right win against Vanderbilt. That's probably going to be about 55-10. Just being real. South Carolina, I think it's going to be equally as ugly. I'm going to say 49-21.
In Williams-Brice. All right, continue on. So he's just saying that because it's me, but go ahead.
and then they get a little road trip up to Rocky Top and the Cumberland River. Tennessee wins that ball game outright. They beat Missouri. I think they lose to LSU.
Ooh, there's 3.
They beat Mercer.
The Bears.
They'll beat Oklahoma. They'll beat Auburn.
9-3.
Alabama loses. I actually have Alabama when I did their preview on the Golden Boot podcast. I had them at 8-4.
8-4.
And the swing game for me is that Wisconsin game.
I got you. But we all have our own opinions on this. James, you're next.
So, Western Kentucky, that's an easy win for Alabama. I mean, it's the opening game, and like Adam Sandler said in The Longest Yard in 2005, yeah, every year at Florida State, we go up against Appalachian State, some slack Division II team, kick the living shit out of them, get their confidence up. USF, much like Chris said, I've had that game circled on my calendar because I could not believe the score of that game and how Alabama was held to only 17 points. That absolutely blew me away, and they still walked away with the win.
Okay.
I think the game so USF is going into Alabama.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't think USF stands a chance. Alabama is one of the toughest places to get a win at. It's loud. They're man, just from
really
watching. Say what?
It's not really loud. They sit on their hands there.
Jump.
Yeah. But yeah, I say Alabama gets the win over USF easily at Bryant Stadium. At Wisconsin, this should be an interesting one. Wisconsin is might be a sleeper team in the Big Ten that nobody is going to give enough credit towards. But I think Alabama gets the close win at Wisconsin. Georgia, they get stomped. I mean, they're the cream of the crop for a reason. And as long as Kirby Smart remains the head coach, Georgia's going to be doing Georgia things. But they get that revenge win at Vanderbilt. I mean, if Vanderbilt gets a win and they want to trash talk about Alabama, enjoy it, nerds. South Carolina, this should be an interesting one. But looking back at the last decision I made, I think I'm going to have to go with Bama on this one. At Tennessee, I kind of foresee, what was it, last year, 2 years ago, that it was like a 52-49 shootout?
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to be another shootout, but I think, oh, God, this is going to be tough. I think Tennessee might walk away with a tough win, just like they did 2 years ago. But Bama, they get that win back versus Missouri. At LSU, oh, man. God. Playing in Death Valley, that is a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Heaven forbid if it's at night.
Yeah. If it's at night, I think LSU might get that win. But if it's during the day, I got to go with Alabama. So there's factors. So we'll see what happens, what kind of game it is. Mercer, easy win.
I've actually heard that LSU-Alabama game is 11 a.m. game.
Ooh, okay. So then, Bama might get the win at LSU. Let's see. Mercer, easy win. At Oklahoma, that's going to be a tough win for Alabama. And Auburn, sorry, guys. As much as I love you, Bama gets the win.
So 10-2.
Yes.
So we got 11-1, 10-2, 7-5. Jonathan, your turn.
Alrighty. Western Kentucky, W, no problem there. South Florida, yeah. I was in Oxford watching the Ole Miss Georgia Tech game when this game was going on last year. It was actually before the game. I think they had 45 lightning delays, it seemed like. But no, that game was ugly. They scored 17 points, won the game, but it was that was tough. I do like the trajectory that USF's going under Galesh. I like his QB Byron Brown and Atkins, that talented receiver they got. They might give Bama a test early on, but no, Bama I think pulls away in the second half. And then you go to Wisconsin. I wish this was a night game. I know it's at 11 a.m. I wish it was a night game, but this has the feeling to me of one of those tough battles all the way to the fourth quarter. But in the end, I'll stick with Bama. I trust them on the road, but I think they're going to have to grind this one out. And then Georgia, Kirby Smart's the new Nick Saban, if closest to Nick Saban. Georgia's the premier program. I think they'll go in and get the win. Vandy, no disrespect, but it's
oh,
we lost him. So all right. So while we're waiting on him, we'll see if he makes it back. We will go ahead and do my whole side. All right, we will do our next FAFO. My favorite one I found over the last couple weeks. There's nothing I like seeing better than somebody getting their upcomings for doing something mean to somebody or an animal. I love it.
Oh, God. What a jackass, figuratively and literally.
Right.
Did you see the one I sent you last night?
Yes.
That would have been a good one, too.
I don't think we can put that one on here. I don't think so.
It ain't no different than that one.
No, but it's alligator.
True.
So I do have one more, but I want to. No, I don't. I thought I had one more. I guess I don't. Yeah, I got one more, but I want to save it for later. So while we wait and see if Jonathan. All right, he's back.
You guys hear me?
All right, so go ahead. They beat the hell out of Vanderbilt. And that's where you were.
Okay, some idiot trying to call me. Anyway, South Carolina, they'll get the W there. All right, Tennessee on the road. This is going to be an interesting one. I've actually got a brother-in-law who bleeds Bama, and he told me I was crazy, but I like where Tennessee's going into the year. We'll see how the defense is. I think this has the feeling of 2 years ago again. So I think Tennessee wins a close one.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri. Let me just say this. If there was a SEC game in Tuscaloosa, I could see Bama losing. Maybe this would be one, but Missouri's just the defense I'm still iffy on. So I'll take Bama, the safe pick at home. At LSU, oh, man. If it's a night game, I might would tell you one thing. But like I say, I'm not sold on where LSU fully is right now, but I'm going to say Bama because it sounds like it might be a day game. If it was at night, I'd probably go the other way. Mercer, this game's over 2 minutes into the first quarter. And then at Oklahoma, as cool as it is to see Bama and Oklahoma play, rest in peace, Toby Keith. I'm sorry, but Alabama will probably win this game. I think they'll still beat Oklahoma, especially in the trenches. And then I think they'll take Auburn, so 10-2.
10-2. So 2 10-2s.
Yep.
7 what yours was 8-4, Chris?
Yes, 8-4.
So 2 10-2s, 8-4, and then 11-1. All right. So let's see. Let's see where I stand on this.
Rock and roll.
All right. So Western Kentucky, they're so South Florida had a pretty good game against them last year, but that's just going to be the reason that Alabama wins this game 63-17. I mean, they are going to beat them down. At Wisconsin, I'm a huge Wisconsin fan from the Ron Dane days back in the day. Wisconsin was really good when I was growing up in the late 80s, early 90s. They ran the ball at will on anybody. and it's Madison's a very fun place to play. I do think Alabama gets this win. So Georgia coming into Alabama. Generally, coming into Alabama, I would give them an advantage, but Georgia's just on a different level than anybody else right now, and it's not even close. Coaching all the way up. So that's going to be a loss for them. Vanderbilt, I agree with Chris. This is going to be about 55-10 type of game. Just in talent alone, right? See, this is where Chris doesn't understand. South Carolina's talent, top to bottom, depth, and all that is 3 times what Vanderbilt is. And South Carolina has a decent team. Nick Saban said they were really close. Greg McElroy said they're a great team. I think they're a good team, but they're not going to win this game. I'm really close with Chris on this one. He said 49-21. I'm going to say 38-21, 45-21 as well. Shane Beamer's just not ready for this until he proves me different. That's how I will react on these games with him. And I love him though. They will beat Tennessee. Josh Heupel, he's like Brian Kelly to me. He's overrated. He's a fraud. He's like Jimbo Fisher. We can say, right, but we can say what we want. But Tennessee's had all this fucking talent. Even the day he stepped into there, because they were paying those players with cash and McDonald's back. I mean, let's not act like he took over a terrible program burning to the ground. That's not what happened. And his success at UCF came following Scott Frost's undefeated season, where they claimed the national title. So whatever. Not sold on Josh Heupel. Missouri will go back to doing Missouri things this year. 6-6, 5-7. Alabama wins this one. Now, at LSU, this is I struggled on this one because I really think Alabama can win this game. But DeBoer has never seen an environment like this before.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, so have I. But he's never seen nothing like this before, bringing his team in there. And Alabama is the more talented team than LSU.
Yeah, I agree.
They are. And Alabama should, by all rights, win this game. However, there's an old saying for Death Valley where opponents' dreams come to die. And I think LSU wins this game. I really do.
I can see
Mercer. Mercer's a very good FCS school. They took Furman to the wire last year twice. And Furman was a field goal away from going to the semifinals. So, but are they going to beat Alabama? No. No. Oklahoma, as much as Tim Bailey wants to will them to victory, they're not ready to play Alabama. This is not the Oklahoma of Baker Mayfield. This is not that team.
Or even Jalen Hurts.
Right. Yeah. This is not that open. I mean, they're down. Brett Venables is struggling really there and he took over an elite program and he immediately went down. I think Venables is a fraud too. And I think Chris would agree with me there. Maybe not. I don't know. But Alabama 100% wins this game. And then they beat Auburn. I think they're going to finish 10-2 as well. There's 3 of us that think that. And I think 10-2 Alabama and the SEC is good enough to be one of the 4 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
So what? Go ahead, Chris.
So I just wanted to correct one thing on Tennessee. What Jeremy Pruitt inherited at Tennessee was not a good football. Was not a good football program. In 2020, they went 3-7. They were absolutely horrible. His first year, he took them to 7 wins, went 7-6, took them to a bowl game. What he inherited there was not a good football program.
True.
They didn't have talent there. What he's done there has been remarkable. So I actually think that they're going to be really, really good.
Yeah, Bobby Hill's got Tennessee on the right track. For those who remember King of the Hill.
Damn, Chris. Yeah, he doesn't agree with your trap game either. Neither do I. Western Kentucky is tougher than y'all think, no doubt, but they're not beating Bama. Let's not go into fantasy land.
In a game of football, ain't no way.
Yeah,
no way.
let's not go into fantasy land.
I mean, hell, like
Okay,
in my
yes.
opinion,
she
Jalen
just
Milroe
took
takes
shot
a
at
very
me.
big step forward.
She just took a shot at me in South Carolina. Okay.
So yes, Western Kentucky is a good football team.
Mhm.
Mercer's a good football team too. Ain't neither one of them on a Power 5 SEC level to
We're
beat
gonna do our
Alabama.
best.
Exactly.
Hell
Chris.
no.
Hell no.
Bama been running the game since like what, the late 2000s and halfway through the 2010s.
Since like what, 09, 07, something like that.
Yeah, and that
That's
was
if
when
you could
Mark
even-
Ingram won the freaking Heisman back then.
That's even if
Exactly.
you could score, Chris. So, like the Big Ten backers like to take shots at South Carolina, but I mean, I remember we played Ohio State exactly twice, and we beat them in back-to-back years in the Outback Bowl. We played Michigan in the bowl game, and we knocked the dude's helmet to Mars. We played Wisconsin in a bowl game, and we beat them down. We played Nebraska in the Citrus Bowl. We beat them down. Big Ten needs to sit the fuck down because you can't beat South Carolina unless your name's Indiana.
I mean, hey, y'all remember when Alabama beat Michigan State 38-0
in the playoff?
I sure as hell do.
Oklahoma does got
I think it
more
was
holes
like
than the other
2015.
Yeah, something like that.
So before we go on, I'm on the couch, fool.
Hey, can I say one thing to the Big Ten folks?
Yeah, they're part of our network. They're good guys, and you know, fuck them because my team's better. But go ahead.
Can I just say something while we're on this? Hey, what happened to Penn State at that Peach Bowl last year?
It was not a good day for them.
Yeah, clearly.
So
Exactly.
before we go into the next one, I'm gonna play. Y'all know who Steve Smith is, right? Former Panthers wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He had a bad day. See, running your mouth on a football field and running your mouth to somebody who's 7'3", 497 pounds, just I don't know how big he is, but I mean, like, that was stupid. That was Steve Smith that just got knocked out, and that was at a UFC event.
Yeah, Dana, if you watch that, sign that man.
Yes.
That was clean.
Now,
did you see that motherfucker? God almighty.
Okay, he had a bad day, but was his bad day as bad as RG3's bad day?
Yeah, he got fired.
Well, let's be honest. Ever since RG3 was on ESPN, that man been literally tightrope walking the fucking limits of what he could say on TV.
So I just want to throw this out there real quick for this comment. You said we don't have conference pride. I don't have conference pride. Fuck every other team in the SEC. You got me fucked up. Like, fuck them all. I'm Gamecocks. I don't give a fuck. But that doesn't change the fact that playing Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Ole Miss, fucking Missouri, week in, week out ain't fucking hard.
Hey, look, the only team in the Big Ten that actually has conference pride is Big State. Just ask Michigan when they went in for that whiteout game and had to call a timeout 5 seconds in.
Exactly.
I'm just.
I wouldn't want to play in front of that crowd.
No,
I grew up in Big Ten country. I'm still attached to Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
It's anchor down and fuck your team.
100%. Like, I do not give a shit if other SEC teams win or lose. I promise you that. Like, when Georgia loses, that shit tickles me pink. I'll be honest with you. Like, every time Georgia loses, I laugh a little. So I ain't got that conference pride. But that doesn't change the fact that Georgia's about to beat the fucking shit out of everybody they play. That doesn't change that fact.
I would love to see a Big Ten team come down to the and play one of the SEC teams, and just for them to see what it's like and how loud it is. Because every SEC team that I turn on, excluding Vanderbilt, is loud as hell. I damn near go deaf every time I turn a game on.
Can't nobody touch our environment.
No.
No.
Alabama's just as dead in their stadium as Vanderbilt is. They're a bunch of old motherfuckers that sit on their hands. They only cheer when they score, and that's it. They're not loud.
Y'all do that shit. So
Oh,
once again, I think he's confusing me with the university. I said that I do not give a fuck about the SEC. I do not care what other people do. So that does not change.
Big Ten backers, you talking a lot of shit. You about to bring the jersey out in me, my guy. I love it.
Go to Camp Randall. Look, Happy Valley's a good one, and the Hawkeye Wave's great.
Oh, yeah.
But if we're talking environments, like, all right, so those are great environments. They really are.
Oh,
But
yeah.
let's talk elite environments. You go to LSU, that's an elite environment. You go to Tennessee, that's an elite environment. You go to South Carolina, a team that has all the money they need. They're just looking for that way to break through. Win, lose, or draw. 82,000 people in there with the fucking towel, sandstorm blared. That shit ain't no joke. South Carolina is not an easy place to fucking win. I mean,
hell, let's talk about Kyle Field, aka Texas A&M. Despite what their record may be, like, my God, are they loud?
Ole Miss, they have some great ones. Fucking never forget the cowbells. Like that shit is annoying. I have been there. That shit's annoying as fuck. Y'all don't understand how loud it is, and like y'all hear it on the TV. Yeah, always Southern teams. Y'all hear it on the TV, but y'all don't.
Michigan has the fucking big house. Whoop-de-doo, Basil.
Yeah.
Just remember what Appalachian State said about the big house. Fuck
yeah.
Hey, Nebraska is also a great one. Nebraska's sold out every game since the 60s or something. Great environment. I've been there too. But elite is elite, and LSU is elite. Tennessee is elite. That's just facts.
Trust me, I was in Baton Rouge 2008. Okay.
You go ahead. I'm gonna hold on.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, yeah, I was in Baton Rouge for the Ole Miss LSU game back in 2008, and I got hit with beer bottles and toilet paper, and we won the game. And I remember leaving, looking at several of these LSU fans, going, and we got out to the parking lot, and they were friendly as can be with me.
Hey, heat of the moment, it is what it is.
As far as environments, I think South Carolina's got one of the most underrated in the country. There is, all of our environments have their own special things. I mean,
look, I'll make an argument for Virginia Tech.
Oh yeah, Enter Sandman. Yeah.
Woo.
So this is not true. This is not true.
Tennessee disappears. They ain't elite. Yeah, I'm with you. I disagree too.
Even when they're going 2-10, 3-9, 4-8, they're bad years that they've had a lot of in recent years. They still pump 106,000 people into that stadium every fucking game.
Exactly.
Because it's an
Neyland
event.
Stadium, man.
It's an event.
Yeah. So I just want to go ahead and say, for somebody, the Big Ten backers, to say that we're a bunch of SEC pride homers, they are only mentioning how great other Big Ten teams are. So who is here with the conference pride? Like, it seems to me like the show called Big Ten Backers is the one with the conference pride, because this fucking show ain't called SEC shit.
Like this, man. Cook.
I mean, been to a few.
Good for you.
As much as I hate Georgia and I'll never go back because like they are vicious, they will bark at you and they'll bark at kids and they're a bunch of fucking. I just can't stand going to Georgia. That environment is loud. It is really loud in Georgia, but the environment in Georgia is not even as good as the environment in South Carolina. It's not the same. They're just, they have a lot of money and they win a lot. But you go to Georgia, it's like it's loud, but it's done. South Carolina, like Chris said, it's an event. Like they play in Sandstorm, they got a light show. I mean, like it is rocking in there.
I don't ever, I
Like
don't ever
you
like
literally are called Big Ten backers. I'm confused.
I mean, look, almost every SEC game
Yeah,
that is
they are.
played
I
on
agree, you did.
CBS, the camera is literally shaking. I'm talking like Jose Bautista 2015 bat flip, exactly shaking like that.
exactly.
All right, so we got two more subjects to cover. We're going to go ahead and take our last break real quick, and we will be back in 2 minutes. You are watching College Sports Villains only on Dog TV.
Icy Breeze is the world's first portable air conditioner and cooler. A premium ice cooler that doubles as an eco-friendly portable air conditioner. This is not a swamp cooler just blowing air across ice. Over 60 parts and components allow Icy Breeze to achieve what no other product in the world can do. The secret behind the Icy Breeze is an innovative design that circulates chilled ice water through a heat exchanger in the lid, replacing the Freon used in most ACs. Fresh air is drawn from hidden vents in the top of the cooler, pulled across the exchanger, and chilled down to 35 degrees cooler than the outside air. A 3-speed fan control delivers Icy Breeze's dry, cold air up to 25 miles per hour, just like a car AC. And a stay-put flex hose directs the breeze in any direction. Wherever you need it, Icy Breeze helps you beat the heat. Icy Breeze is the world's first portable air conditioner and cooler. A premium ice cooler that doubles as an eco-friendly portable air conditioner. This is not a swamp cooler just blowing air across ice. Over 60 parts and components allow Icy Breeze to achieve what no other product in the world can do. The secret behind the Icy Breeze is an innovative design that circulates chilled ice water through a heat exchanger in the lid, replacing the Freon used in most ACs. Fresh air is drawn from hidden vents in the top of the cooler.
I'm a bad guy, the one you love to hate. Andrew Anderson, spitting truth that just can't wait. Got a podcast, like a punch right to your face. College sports villain, taking it over the place. I bring the facts whether you like it or not. Dropping truth bombs, giving it all I got. They call me a villain, well, I wear that badge with pride. Nothing but secrets they try to hide. Hard rock in my veins, rebellious to the core. I won't back down, won't take it anymore. The bad guy of the podcast world, that's me. Unleashing the truth, setting it all free.
Welcome back to College Sports Villains only on Dog TV. So right here, hey, free advertising all you want. Yeah, you are our brothers. You know that. But go watch the Big Ten backers every Sunday morning. So our next subject, because we got two more I want to get into, is the reason that Jonathan is here. So we're going to bring up his graphic, let him go first and walk through, and then we will all do our thing.
Okay.
Jonathan, Ole Miss previews is why you're here.
Alrighty. Well, okay. So we open up with Furman. Good FCS program, but to be honest, I know this is a mismatch. Ole Miss shouldn't have no trouble there. Middle Tennessee, win, first-year head coach. I mean, look, it's Middle Tennessee. At Wake Forest. Wake Forest was actually a solid little program there for a little while, but they've trended in the wrong direction here these last couple of years, and there's still a pretty good talent gap. Now, don't get me wrong. I could see Wake making it tricky at first if Ole Miss is sleepwalking into the game, but I do think they'll end up pulling away. Georgia Southern, win. SEC opener with Kentucky. I never forget a couple of years ago, they were in Oxford. We ended up winning at the very end. I think we blocked a field goal, if I remember correctly. That game, whew, that was stressful. Never overlook Kentucky, but I do think we just got too much offensive firepower for them. I think we'll win that game. At South Carolina, tricky environment. Like I said, very underrated environment.
We'll revisit this comment during my turn.
Tricky road environment. I'll never forget several years ago, Jevin Sneed was our QB, and we had Dexter McCluster and all those guys. we went there for a Thursday night game, and y'all beat us, and we were like number 4, I think, in the country at that time.
We sure did. We had Blake Mitchell. Of course, we had Mike Davis. We had a lot better team than people understood. We had Sidney Rice. One of the greatest SEC wide receivers ever. So,
Fact. That's can't overlook that game. I don't care what some of our arrogant fans in our fan base says. At LSU, call me pessimistic, but I still ain't forgot 2 years ago when we went in there. I think we were undefeated, and they kicked our ass pretty much. That's not going to be easy. I don't care what anybody says. Oklahoma, toss up because it's Oklahoma, but I still think we've got them beat in the trenches right now, and I do think with the experienced QB edge. At Arkansas, guys, I could spend this whole show talking to y'all about memories of the Ole Miss Arkansas game that gave me nightmares. All you got to say is 4th and 25, and my blood pressure will skyrocket.
I was actually about to say Darren McFadden.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another one. But look, that's a road game. It doesn't matter what Arkansas's record is. That usually is a dogfight. Look at last year's game. And plus, it might be cold in Fayetteville, and we seem to not handle cold well for some reason. Georgia, most talented team in the country. I'm just going to be realistic.
Next week, we're doing Georgia.
Oh, nice. Georgia, most talented team in the country. I am going to go a little bit over here, though. I don't think we're going to get stomped. We'll just say that. I think it's a closer game.
It's in Oxford, so yeah.
Yeah, home field edge. At Florida, again, just like some of these other road games, can't overlook it. I still remember years ago when we went down there, number 3 in Florida, beat the crap out of us. I think Jim McElwain was the coach. That was not a fun day. So don't want to get caught looking ahead to the Egg Bowl. I think we win, but I do think Florida will keep it close at first, at least. And then the Egg Bowl, I'm gonna be a little arrogant here. I think we whoop their ass.
Yeah, Mississippi State is a very, very, very bad program right now.
Right now,
they're not ready to go into Oxford and make it a game. They're just not
on Black Friday.
Right. So 10-2 is your prediction. This is your graphic up here, obviously. James.
Yes, sir. All right. So versus Furman again. Yeah, that's an easy win if I've ever seen one. Yeah, they might be good in the FCS, but this is the FBS, and it's just a different level up here, especially when you come up and play the SEC. Middle Tennessee, it's another easy win for Ole Miss. What can I say?
Paycheck.
Now at Wake Forest, there's only 2 reasons that Wake Forest might win this game, and 2 alone. If it's a night game, and if Wake Forest does all black, I'm talking the helmet, their jerseys, their pants, cleats, all black. Big Ten backers, am I filling your quota for my Jersey accent? I'm talking all black here. But if that's not the case, then yeah, Ole Miss wins that game handily, and it's not even close.
Hey, I will revisit that Wake Forest all black comment during my turn, but go ahead.
No, for sure. Georgia Southern, another win. Kentucky and South Carolina, it might be tough wins for Ole Miss. I'm not going to lie. Mostly because, look, the SEC this could literally be a NFL conference, and the SEC could be a conference and NFL division on its own because every team in that conference is just so stacked beyond belief.
It's better than the NFC South.
So Ole Miss wins over Kentucky and South Carolina.
Yes.
Gotcha.
At LSU, again, some factors might play in. If it's a night game, then you're going to have to deal with a lot of day drinking LSU fans. That's kind of hard to do. But if it's a day game, then I'm going to have to give it to Ole Miss. But right now, I think I'm going to have to lean towards the night game and give Ole Miss a loss. Anyways, next game up, Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Y'all were good in the Big 12, but look, this is the SEC. This is a different ball game here, people.
Welcome to SEC life.
Exactly.
It's
Ole Miss. O-L-E. Jesus.
Hey, look,
Anyway.
I'm gonna help Big Ten backers out so he can answer his question. Right there, homie.
There you go, right there. Now, I don't know why people want to stir the pot, maybe throw a few seasonings in there, but it's not Arkansas. It's Arkansas. All right? It's Arkansas.
It's Gun, Kansas.
Anyways, regardless.
JD, glad you're
hey,
here.
Sergeant First Class, what's up, man?
That's right. So I will be addressing Ole Miss schedule and all that during my time. Yeah, it is pretty easy. Go ahead, James.
Yep. Let's see. Ole Miss with the win over Arkansas. They take the loss over against Georgia. They get a win at Florida, and they also get a win at Mississippi State. Easy.
All right. So so you've got them at 10-2 as well.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Chris.
So, to be honest, the only loss I see on the schedule is Georgia.
Oh.
However, I do want to put out a word.
That is correct pronunciation. Arkansas. All right. Continue on.
Yeah.
I do want to warn about overlooking MTSU. They do have a solid quarterback. Their new head coach is Derek Mason, who has multiple victories over Ole Miss.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
And also runs an impressive defensive scheme. So don't overlook MTSU and think it's going to be an easy cakewalk just because of who the coach is and what he can bring to the table. But other than that, I think 11-1 easily.
Oh, so 2 10-2s and an 11-1. Alrighty.
If we go 11-1, I might post a video of my fat ass doing a cartwheel.
Right.
Now, one thing I want to point out about this schedule.
Oh God!
This is the first time since the SEC went to 12 teams that one particular school is not on the schedule. And by God, I'm thankful for it because Ole Miss was named Vanderbilt's rival by the SEC.
Correct. Cross platform.
When they went to 12 teams.
Yeah.
And we played them every year since Arkansas and South Carolina joined the SEC. So this is the first time since the early 90s that we're not playing them, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, Ole Miss is really good. So here's the way I see it. All right, so Ole Miss is a really good team. Furman is an excellent, almost elite FCS program, but that's not going to get it done in Oxford. MTSU, Derek Mason was just an awful coach, and and Chris agrees. He hated Derek Mason. I don't think there's going to be anything there. Wake Forest,
NFL wide receiver.
So, yeah,
he played defensive back for the Chicago Bears, and then became a defensive coordinator at Stanford.
Okay,
different Derek Mason.
Okay,
yeah. So Wake Forest, all black. So color doesn't mask talent. You may get a boost from the fans, but have you ever been to a Wake Forest game? Because I have. There ain't no energy in no Wake Forest, man. Nope. Like even when they're winning against Clemson, it's like, yay, way to go. Like it's not gonna matter. It doesn't matter as much as you think for Wake Forest. This is going to be beat down.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I look at certain teams like Wake Forest and Purdue, and when they do like the all black, like I don't know, it just gives them like that boost of energy that they need to beat the team that's coming in.
I would say the same thing about Purdue, but yeah.
Now, one thing about Wake Forest is they do run that mesh style offense.
Mm-hmm.
If Ole Miss is not prepared for that, it can cause them problems.
That's true.
I do see them winning this game by at least 2 scores.
Yeah, talent's going to win out in the end in this game is where I'm going. Georgia Southern is a very bad program. Like this may get into the 70s. I mean, like I'm not even joking. Like Ole Miss may score in the 70s in this game, even when they're back up. Like it's going to be ugly. Kentucky, so they get Kentucky at home. Kentucky, they're it like don't. Jacques in here talking about all the drama in the Ole Miss locker room. What about the drama in the Ole Miss locker room? And he's right, there is. But I mean, if you're fucking Kentucky and your coach tried to fucking bounce on you in the offseason, got told, hey, you suck, you're not going to coach it, and then had to come back to your program with his tail tucked between his legs, you think there ain't no locker room drama going on in there? Like that, you are crazy if you have convinced yourself that. Crazy.
Exactly.
And don't forget, we actually have video of Kentucky offensive linemen beating the hell out of each other in their locker room during spring ball.
Yeah,
exactly.
And now they've lost their projected starter at running back and Trey in them with a broken hand, who the offensive coordinator said today is out indefinitely and not just 3 or 4 weeks.
Yes.
Whoa. Yeah.
That could be 4 weeks,
Kentucky
or it could be
might be reeling.
So they got a lot going. So now Ole Miss at South Carolina. They're going to smack the dog shit out of South Carolina. let me tell you why that's not going to happen.
Pump your brakes there, Big Ten.
For some reason they do beat them. Sucks when you like Ole Miss, can't stand Lane Kiffin. Gotcha. We're not going to get into Northwestern locker room shenanigans, I promise. But South Carolina is a tough place to play. Ole Miss has come in there undefeated before, ranked number 4 in the country. And South Carolina had just went 5-7 the year before that. And then they came around and they have some. Lenore Sellers is a good quarterback. Don't get it twisted. Don't listen to anybody telling you he's not. Nicholas Harbor is an elite wide receiver. Just look what they put him on NCAA 25. He's the fastest wide receiver in the whole game. He's the strongest wide receiver in the whole game, and he's got the highest rank for agility at any receiver in the whole game. So don't get it twisted. Like, the talent's there. We got Rocket Sanders, who's a proven beast in the SEC. The only good spot about Arkansas last year, because KJ was not good. So this is not going to be a beatdown. South Carolina, I could see this game going 27-20, 27-17. This game is going to be really, really close. But I digress. Ole Miss wins, right? Not gonna happen. Cox win. So JD James, that guy, I've known him since we were 4. We grew up in the same neighborhood and all that.
Y'all go back.
Yeah, and now he's ranked really high up in the military. He's out on a boat somewhere off the coast of Australia or something.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, so but he's a huge game. Hey, look, I'm a Gamecock fan too, but I'm also a realist. We're not winning that game. So here's where I've got. I also have them losing at LSU. And there's just a curse for Ole Miss with LSU. And LSU's probably going to have a pretty gosh darn great record going into this based on what they had, which means an undefeated Ole Miss team and a one-loss LSU team at night. It will be the primetime game. I promise you. This will be the 8 p.m. game. There is no way that it's not. If LSU's one loss and Ole Miss is undefeated, it just will be. It will be the premier game. And it will be at 8 p.m. And that shit, nobody wins at LSU at night. Just like I said before, a place where opponents' dreams come to die.
Yep.
And then Oklahoma in Oxford. Once again, not only do you have the home field advantage, the talent gap between Ole Miss and Oklahoma. I know Oklahoma fans don't want to hear that. Tim Bailey will try to convince you that they have the best talent in the country. But the talent level between these two teams is not close right now. The head coaches are not equal. And it's in Oxford. Oklahoma's not winning this game. I
can tell you Oxford's going to be rocking for that game.
Yes.
Easily.
Yeah. And then you have Gun Kansas here. I got to tell you, man, they don't let you fish off the boat. I'm a realist. Past years also, but I'm switching it up this year. Okay. So Arkansas is a very, very bad program. Chris said earlier that Mississippi State and Florida will vie for the 2 worst spots in the SEC. I think it's going to be Arkansas and Vanderbilt vying for the worst spot in the SEC. I think Florida is going to win 5 games. Vanderbilt and Arkansas 3. That's just how I feel. And they do got that thirsty fan base. They want it because they've been so close. Like the year they were ranked number 4, came in to Williams-Brice, and then the season fell apart after that. And then Georgia. All right, so this game is in Oxford, but Georgia is on a different level. Georgia is the best team in the country, and it doesn't matter if you played them in Afghanistan. They're disciplined. They got Kirby Smart, and they're going to beat you, and they know they're going to beat you, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's just that's just how it is. Florida, they're better than Florida, and Lane Kiffin loves beating Florida. Yeah, he's mentioned that several times. And the Egg Bowl, that's going to be a beatdown of epic proportions, my friend. Mississippi State's a very, very bad program. I also have them 10-2, and I think a 10-2 SEC record will get you into the playoffs unless there are 5 SEC teams that are 10-2, and then the schedule that LSU got is kind of light now. But here's what people don't understand. All right, so it's a light schedule, Furman, but all SEC teams do it. The Middle Tennessee State, Wake Forest, Georgia Southern, you can't come back from that. Those are 4 teams that aren't very good, and you just have to deal with that because you scheduled them, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But Kentucky could very well be a 10-win team this year. Yep. That raises the strength of schedule. South Carolina could very well be an 8-win team this year.
Exactly.
So that raises the strength of schedule. LSU could be another 10-win team this year. Oklahoma, another 9-10-win team. Georgia is going to be a 12, 13, 14, 15, probably 16-win team this year.
The revenge tour is coming this year.
Right.
Yes.
And Florida could possibly hit 6 wins. I don't see how, but like they're Florida, you never know. And then Mississippi State could get 4 or 5 wins. Next thing you know, well, goddamn, this is one of the toughest schedules in the country. It becomes trash to, oh, shit, Oklahoma won 10 games. Oh, shit, LSU won 10 games. Oh, shit, Kentucky won 10 games. Oh, shit, South Carolina won 8 games. And now it's one of the hardest schedules in the nation.
Exactly.
So
you
just – or South Carolina, Kentucky, and Arkansas and Florida could be the shit that I think they're going to be, and this is going to be a beatdown. You just don't know till the season comes. That's what's great about it.
I'm gonna say best case scenario 11-1, worst case scenario 6-6. 6-6 and the wheels fall off.
Hey, if Ole Miss goes 6-6, Lane Kiffin will find another job.
Oh yeah,
because somebody will pay him and he will go.
Oh
exactly.
Yeah. Imagine if he goes to Alabama.
They want him, but he didn't.
They
go.
never called him. They never called him.
I'll throw this out here. What if Florida comes open? Just throwing that out there.
Ooh, maybe.
So what? If the wheels fall off and Ole Miss goes 6-6 and Florida comes open, Lane Kiffin will jump at that job. He's upset now that he didn't get the nil money he wanted. He just went 6-6. Florida's open. That's an elite school that he's always wanted to go to. I think he would too. I do.
Okay, Jonathan, I have to ask you.
Go ahead.
How much money is Ole Miss football going to spend on fire extinguishers this year? And let me tell you the reference of that. That is the dumbest. Period. The dumbest sideline celebration I've ever seen. Hey, we scored. Let's fire off a damn fire extinguisher. What the fuck?
They'll probably spend more on fire extinguishers than I probably do in a month in gas in my pickup truck.
Right, not as much as Miami will.
Yeah, probably not as much as Miami. No, it'll be a bunch. I got mixed feelings on it. I was just like, I don't know if I want my kid breathing all that, but that's just me.
Right. So let's go into
Hey, can I throw something real quick on the schedule?
Yeah.
I've got y'all gonna get a crack. Y'all probably get a chuckle out of this. I got a bone to pick with Georgia Southern.
Oh,
here's my bone with them. Number one, the last time they were in Oxford, I was there when they injured Chad Kelly and ended his career pretty much for us. I was at that game. And number two, y'all don't. probably know me super well yet, but I am a triple option enthusiast. I love that offense.
Me too.
Georgia Southern, you broke my heart because you got rid of it, assholes.
They did. So I don't know why I was doing that. So we have 2 segments left. I want to go ahead and get into our final one, which we're going to pick week 1 games. So this is Emily, who is my wife, in case you didn't know. I'm not sure if I said that, but Emily's my wife. She's part of the show. So we'll go through hers real quick. So, and then the next one I'll pull up. It'll have mine, James, and Chris's already. You can see it, and you can tell us what you think.
Okay.
So, Georgia and Clemson. Emily's got Georgia, West Virginia, Penn State. She's got Penn State, Notre Dame, Texas A&M. She's got Texas A&M, Florida, Miami. She's got Miami, and the only real upset she's picked is Southern Cal to beat LSU.
Ooh.
And Southern Cal's not a terrible team. They're not, but here's ours. So this is a graphic we put out every week. I know you saw it. Now you can put the names with the faces because I share it in your group all the time. All these. That's Chris, James, and myself, obviously.
Okay, I see it.
Here's what we have picked. Right. Really, we only have one difference, and Chris is going with A&M, and we're going with Notre Dame. Even though James picked A&M when we did the Notre Dame schedule, so I guess he saw something that made him flip flop his mind on that. But what about you?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that is true. So what do you think? Pick these games for us, Jonathan, and give us a quick breakdown of each one, quick synopsis.
Okay, so we'll start at the top. West Virginia, Penn State. I've got West Virginia in my preseason top 25. I believe they're number 24. They've got a daunting schedule. I like this game. It's in Morgantown, but I am kind of high on Penn State. I think their offense is only going to get better with the new OC. I think it's a very, very close game, but I do think Penn State still will outwin them. I think it's like a 38-31 kind of game, something like that. I'm going to go with Penn State. And then A&M Notre Dame. I'm going to split this one with y'all. Even though I do think Notre Dame's going to be good, and I think they'll be in the playoff and probably lose in the first round, I like A&M. I like A&M at home. I do think the atmosphere
James.
The atmosphere's going to be really good for this game. I think I'll go with A&M. I think they can pull this one out. Georgia, sorry, but I think Georgia will beat Clemson. Yeah. So I'll clean sweep that one with you.
Ain't no sorry here. Ain't no fucking Clemson fans in this motherfucking house. So,
hell no. All right, in Florida, Miami. I at one time thought about going with Florida in this game, but I just think Miami's still going to have the talent edge, and I do. So I will go with the Canes. I think it's a close game though. And then the Sunday night game. I'm sorry, but Lincoln Riley don't give two shits about defense. I think LSU wins.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, to be fair, last year it looks like LSU didn't give two shits about defense.
No, they didn't, because I think we had 900 yards on them. So.
Correct.
So can we have some fun, Jonathan? I want to make a South Carolina fan defend Clemson. You want to see this?
Go ahead.
I like it, JB. I like it.
Go ahead.
I'm not high on Clemson at all. I don't think they're going to be good. Mm-hmm. I actually have Virginia Tech and North Carolina State playing for the ACC championship, and I think Clemson may be a 4 or 5 loss team.
So, you wanted me to defend Clemson. I've made no bones since you've known me or any show I've done or anything that I think Clemson is a good program. I hate them, but I have seen. So Clemson started the most freshmen in the nation last year. This is a fact. And they won 9 games. And here's why that's significant. They won 9 games and the sky is falling. That's what kind of program they are. Like, I want to be that program where a 9-win season, we're like, oh my God, the sky's falling. Right now, we're a 5-win program. So
I feel you.
I mean, but make no mistake, Clemson is back. Clemson is going to be in the playoffs. Clemson is going to win the ACC. Clemson is going to beat Florida State. I've got Clemson going 11-1 is what I have a Clemson going. Ooh. I don't think Clemson's going to lose to Georgia. That's just because nobody's going to beat them. But there's not another team on that schedule that I'm looking at Clemson. I'm thinking they can't beat. Florida State is going to be bad this year. The fact that they're preseason ranked number 10 is a fucking joke. They are going to lose 5 games, like you just said. Clemson, they will.
Especially when they were playing with like what, second and third, even fourth stringers in the Orange Bowl last year.
Yeah, they got blown out by 60. That's their culture. So Clemson, they like. It just is what it is. I've seen enough of Dabo. I've seen enough of these teams. I saw the schedule that they have. Like there's no reason Clemson doesn't go 11-1, 10-2. No reason whatsoever, and they will win the ACC. They are the best team in the ACC, and it's not even close. They're going to beat us. I have them beating us. So it's not like I'm just like, hey, like I have them beating South Carolina. So that's
Chris, what's your, if you don't mind me asking, what's your record prediction on Clemson?
So James is a Florida State fan, and I
said either 8-4 or 7-5.
Okay, I'm not far north of you. I've got them 9-3. Now here's the losses. I've got them tripping up, of course, to Georgia. Florida State, I do, but I'm also looking at that as a toss-up. Now here's the other one. I think they lose at Virginia Tech.
So I think it's great everybody's so high on Virginia Tech. I really do. But they had a bunch of lucky breaks to get some wins at the end of the last of the year. They are who they were, and they are still them. Virginia Tech is going to lose 6-7 games this year. They had a very good schedule last year too. A very, very nice little path schedule. That they're going to be a 4-loss team at best. For them.
See, I got them 8-4. They got some good talent coming back though. I think they'll be a surprise. And as far as the ACC goes, while we're on this, don't sleep on SMU. I would not be shocked if they make some noise in their first season.
I'm going to tell you, I am not even 100% convinced that Virginia Tech is going to beat Vanderbilt yet, and that is not a joke. Like this is not a dig at Vanderbilt or Virginia Tech. I am serious. I am dead fucking serious. You watch week 1, Vanderbilt pulls the upset over Virginia Tech. Then what? Are we still going to be talking about Virginia Tech winning the ACC? No, the hell we're not. SMU's a better team than Virginia Tech. I agree with what you said. I think SMU could be pretty good, but
two words: Preston Stone, really good quarterback, and I like his receiving core he's got around him. I think they got 6 of their top 7 back, maybe, and I think the schedule's favorable. Florida State comes to Dallas to play SMU. They got a pretty good schedule. Keep an eye on the Mustangs.
Chris, if Vanderbilt upsets Virginia Tech, is Vanderbilt just that good, or am I right about Virginia Tech?
If Vanderbilt somehow beats Virginia Tech, I will be absolutely stunned. I'll be you won't be able to shut me up for a week.
I get
but that'll say that I misjudged what Virginia Tech has. They do have 21 returning starters from a team that went 5-1 to close out the season with a freshman quarterback. So to me, that suggests that they've got something coming back. If Vanderbilt beats them, I'll be on cloud 9. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I ain't never been so jealous of a bowl game in my life when Virginia Tech and Tulane were playing in that monsoon.
So you brought up an interesting team, SMU. So here's a question I want to pose for SEC folk. If SMU makes noise in the ACC this year, who hires Rhett Lashley?
I'll throw you one. Arkansas.
I know the best team doesn't always win. Michigan knows all about that. So but hold up. Before we go to our final segment, why would one leave SMU to go to Arkansas? Because
that is true.
That's a good question.
Even George, who is our big Arkansas fan, personal friend of mine, he's a co-host of the Golden Boot with Chris here and Cody. He'll be the first to tell you Fayetteville is a terrible place to try to get somebody to go. There's nothing there. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Like there's nothing around. That's exactly what he says. He says it on the show, so it's not like I'm taking some guarded knowledge. Why would you leave Dallas in a conference that if you win, you go to the playoffs automatically.
Well,
To go and try and compete in the SEC at Arkansas,
Okay.
like I guess that just don't make sense to me.
I will say
Okay.
this though, ACC instability. I mean, who knows? The ACC could be on the verge of blowing up with the lawsuits and everything.
I think they'll be
So-
fine. I really do.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, Florida State doesn't want to go play in the Big 12.
Oh yeah, no, hell
That's
no.
a fact. That's a fact.
So I've actually talked about this with Andrew. I've actually got Shane Beamer being the first one fired in the SEC this year.
Ooh.
Napier's going to be fired.
Pittman?
Pittman probably. If the wheels fall off at South Carolina, that job's open.
Yeah.
Napier's out at Florida. Do you think either one of those schools reach out to Lashley? And if so, which one would he take?
Ooh. Man. No disrespect to South Carolina, but I think it would be Florida. The talent-rich recruiting state of Florida. It's still
Fair.
a brand. It's still a brand, even though they've backslid. I mean, it would probably be the bigger job. I think he would want to go the bigger the better.
So here's the thing about Chris. You want to talk about Shane Beamer's not getting fired. Shane Beamer wins 5 games, and there's 5 wins on there easy. Like, he's not getting fired. Like, he's invested. So the one thing that Ray Tanner does not want to do is hire a name that somebody that was coming up, like everybody knew who Shane Beamer was. Only give him 4 years and then fire him at South Carolina. This is not Alabama. This is not Georgia. We're under no delusions that we're just going to go in and win 10 games every year.
Yeah.
So if he fires Shane Beamer after 4 years, and Shane Beamer's had some success in his first few years, what's he telling the next coach? You better come here and win really big at South Carolina, or else no chance they fire Shane Beamer. That nobody would touch the job after that. Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you go 10-2, they're not going to run you out of Columbia with pitchforks.
No. If Shane Beamer goes 10-2, he'll get a 10-year contract. That
Oh,
is
for
a fact.
sure.
That is
might
a
get-
fact.
He might get a statue before it's over.
I mean, I'm just saying, he's not getting fired. I love
if
Shane
Clark
Beamer
Lee-
too.
If Clark Lee went 10-2, they'd build a fucking statue of
See,
him too. But
even him
let me-
says Beamer's a bit of a shot.
If Clark Lee took Vandy 10-2, he would probably never have to buy
National
nothing
Coach
in
of
Nashville.
the Year.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to buy nothing
Yeah.
in Nashville the rest of his life.
No, he would get a lifetime contract at Vanderbilt.
Oh, for sure.
Fact.
Sure.
Because with that schedule, if they go 10-2, Vanderbilt's going to the college football playoff. That is a reality.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the college football playoff. They're signing him with hey, look, here's your lifetime contract, bro.
Exactly.
Yep.
But let me be clear. I approve of the offseason staff changes.
Yeah.
I approve of the players they brought in with the portal. I like the changes. Yeah, he did go 10-2, 2-10 last year, but improvement there looks different than improvement somewhere else.
Yeah.
You have to be competitive. You can't lose 47-13 to South Carolina. That you just can't do that. But if the wheels fall off and he's 10-2 again and not competitive in the SEC, I'm bringing Ruck to Nashville, baby.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell you right now. So he's like, I like Clark Lee. I love the offseason changes, but
I'm done with him.
But last year, but in the middle of the season on this show and the Golden Boot, fire the whole damn staff. Chris said, fire the whole damn staff.
You missed it last night. You weren't in the chat that I was in last night. I actually said, I'm already tired of Clark Lee and his word salad answers for every fucking question he's asked. Just shut the fuck up and tell me we had a piss poor practice and we sucked. Just tell me that. There's no reason to give me a 32-minute word salad answer to say, oh, we're trying to grow up and get stronger and we have to be in the place where our body. Shut the fuck up, dude.
So I meant like Vanderbilt's not going to fire Clark Lee in the middle of the season. I think Napier will if the wheels fall off quickly. Same thing at Vanderbilt. Like, all right, you're Vanderbilt. If you fire a coach in the middle of the season, what's that say to the next coach? I better win big at Vanderbilt, or I'm going to get fired in the middle of the year. Not even finish. No chance Vanderbilt fires him in the middle of the year.
No,
and that's not something we've ever done. Robbie Caldwell resigned in the middle of the year. But other than that, we've never fired a coach in the middle of the year. Never.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, we haven't either. Yes, we did. Anyway, so we fired Will Muschamp.
Your coach just up and quit in the middle of the year.
Yeah, well, so Spurrier lost his passion, and after that squeak out win we had against East Carolina, I think he knew it. I think he knew he didn't want to do it anymore because he didn't really recruit in the offseason that year. He didn't go to any recruits' houses. But with that being said, we're not firing Shane Beamer. But it's time for the final segment. You ready?
I know that I can't take no more. It ain't no lie. I wanna see you out that door, baby. Bye, bye, bye. I don't wanna be a fool for you. Just another player in your game for two. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie, baby. Bye, bye, bye.
Welcome back to College Sports Villains, only on Dog TV. It is time for final thoughts because we have a 2-hour limit here. We will start with the special guest. Jonathan, final thoughts.
All right, final thoughts. I'm going to touch on two things real quick. There was a guy in the comments that talked about Ole Miss's locker room issues. Look, Quinshon Judkins leaving, yeah, that's a tough loss. I mean, my God, he was a great running back. But I don't want this to come out wrong, but he won't be solely missed. We've got depth. Henry Parrish comes from Miami. Logan Diggs comes from LSU. He's got to stay healthy from what I understand. You got the Amos kid coming from Miami, Ohio, and then you got Ulysses Bentley back. We're going to be fine at running back, I think. I love the direction of the program. I'm so thankful for Lane Kiffin. I'm almost humbled just to be in this conversation as far as best programs in the country. And then final thoughts. I'm kind of spilling the beans, but I know you guys probably won't see it on our page. I'll go ahead and tell y'all, I've got the same SEC teams making the playoff: Bama, Ole Miss, Georgia, and I'm Texas. But I'm picking Oregon to win the national championship.
Oh, I certainly think Oregon will have a phenomenal team. If it were me and they come up against Georgia, that's the problem for me with Oregon.
Yeah, for sure.
But good team. Chris, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I think I've shared my a journey with you, everybody that's watching, with my stepdaughter. Of course, she's had problems. She graduates from her program. It's been a year-long program on September 1st. If you have a problem with addiction, reach out to somebody. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid.
Correct.
Just reach out and ask for help.
Absolutely.
Because there are programs out there to help you. There are support systems out there for you. Everybody has a problem somewhere. But if your problem is addiction, reach out and get some help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. James, final thoughts.
Well, first off, Mr. Jonathan, I am so offended by the flag you have on your thailang. Like, oh my God.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Don't even, I wanted to get that out there as a joke. Love it, my man. Love it.
Appreciate it.
But secondly, as always, so I have no control over, I know I have a set time tomorrow for when my show starts, but when you're in the military, you have no control over what time you get off. I do have a transitioning of getting out of the military class tomorrow. I will be getting off at 1600 my time. So the start time for tomorrow's show will be 1800 my time, 2000 Eastern Standard Time. And I will be the host of tomorrow's uncut, unfiltered, and uncensored sports talk show that you will find on social media. And if you want to join in, looking your way, Big Ten. If you want to join in, leave some comments. Mr. Jonathan, if you want to leave some comments as well, you can catch me tomorrow. And at the end of the episode, you will know whose game this is, with everybody saying, "No Mercy Sports." Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, I do not close this Friday. JD will be there too. Hell yeah. I do not close tomorrow. So I will be on the entire No Mercy show tomorrow. So I am freed up and the wife will be at work. So I am let's do the No Mercy tomorrow.
Let's do it. I got one more thing. Yeah. Saturday night, I will be doing a live stream of UFC 305. Duplessis versus Israel Adesanya for the middleweight championship of the world. Camera's just going to be focused on me. I will be providing commentary of what's happening in the fight. Why? Because I don't want to get in trouble for copyright content.
Hey, Andrew, before we go, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to give a shout out. I've got a nephew. His name's Blake. He's a Mississippi State fan, yes, but he was I think he listened to this show. He is fighting stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. He has cancer. And
prayers up, brother. Prayers up.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate
I'll pray
you
to St.
guys.
Michael, my man.
Yeah, thank you guys. But yeah, buddy, if you're watching, just know Uncle John loves you.
Yes, definitely. 100%. Always do a shout out.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, we go ahead, Chris.
I'm going to do a little shameless self-promotion here too. If you like SEC previews or National College Football previews, make sure you check out the Golden Boot podcast. We're doing 30-minute pre-recorded episodes posted Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, previewing teams from the SEC. We will be recording tomorrow night. We'll have Ohio State and Oregon among that preview tomorrow night. So, like I said, check us out, Golden Boot Podcast. We're doing team by team 30-minute episodes. Love to have you. Get in the comments. Call me the ass hat like everybody else has called me an ass hat for talking bad about their teams. I don't care. I'll get in the chat. I'll get in the comments with you. Go check them out.
I may even show you. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for having me.
So here we are. You really are an asshat. That's a shot at Chris there. So here we are coming to the end of the show. I've got Alabama and Ole Miss both going 10-2. Don't forget to watch the Golden Boot. No Mercy Sports tomorrow night, which I will be a co-host on. Go join College Football's The Spread on Facebook. Fantastic group. Like I said, I've been in it basically since the beginning. So my final thoughts here are Alabama 10-2, Ole Miss 10-2. We could see both of them in the playoffs. Really good. The state of the SEC is strong as always. They're going to have 4 teams in. They may have 5 or 6 teams at 10-2, and if that happens, I cannot wait because all chaos will break loose. Because say you leave out a 10-2 Tennessee, but yet the group of 5 team and the ACC champion gets in and the Big 12 champion gets in, and they're not going to be as good as that Tennessee team that got left out. You may see something. Conference champions don't get automatic bids after that. That's just a reality of something we might see. But with that being said, you're watching College Sports Villains only on Dog TV, and as always, John 316. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you.
Your best behavior, turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants